Hi everybody, welcome to Wisdom of Photography. Small Diamond here. A quick class that I give usually in person, so there's usually some interaction here, but I'm going to try and give it virtually. We see this image, it's a picture of my daughter Esther, adhering very clearly to the rule of thirds, and the direction of this image is moving to space, to the right, which is how we always understand this is one of the first most classic rules of photography, is give room to in the direction of the gaze. We're going to not call this a gaze, we're going to call this the tension of the image. The tension of the subject is going into space. Now what happens is your eye enters into Esther's face, into her eyes. That's the point of entry, and then your eye moves over this way. Your eye gets bored and comes back, which means this image is actually quite balanced. What about, let's talk about the next image here. When we compare these two images, A and B, everybody appreciates A more than B. What's the reason? A, like we said, your eye comes around here, floats back, has lots of space to move around, the image is balanced, etc. This image here, we enter in the same place, but what happens here, I always refer to this as a doing. Your eye comes and doing, it bangs into the side of the canvas, and that creates a kind of unsettling feeling which really destroys the energy of the image. This image is relaxed and easygoing, and our eye moves over here, comes back, we have a very nice, balanced, peaceful image. Whereas here our eye bangs into the side. How comes this is a successful image and this is not? Everybody appreciates this image. The reason why, without getting into too much because time is short, this image is very, very dramatic and dynamic. This image is, the subject is much easier, much more passive, and this is very strong, dynamic, energized, etc. We have strong vertical lines, we have high contrast, strong pointy shapes, we have hard textures. The actual subject is a very very intense kind of moment. What's he doing? He's on the phone, we don't know what's going on, etc. He looks very much deep in thought. So this doing here, as our eye enters into the same place by his face, by his eyes, and our eye bangs into the side of the frame over here, that adds to the effect of the image. This image here now is not as successful as this, and more successful than this. Why? Because our eye is being pushed back, even though the direction is slightly going this way, her eye is pulling us to the left side as well. This is a nice example of the dramatic effect. Again, we enter in at the bride's face and we come this way, but over here we have another tension, a point of tension with these flowers, which means although we're coming this way, we're brought around back, and again we have a nice balanced image, which is more interesting and more energized than this image, which would be a more classic style of photo, whereas this is a more dramatic, maybe more contemporary style of image. Here too, we can see just this playing of directions and how it changes everything. Whereas this is an intense image. I've posed the color with an intense stare, makes it all that more dramatic. As she turns towards us, it reduces that doing experience even more so, and give her a smile. And these are just a few more examples of this this technique being used very much to effect. Here we have a very strong energy going up, and that creates a doing. Sorry for the lack of more professional word, but I feel that word really summarizes the whole thing. It's kind of onomatopoeic. The doing here creates the tension and the energy that is embodied within this picture. So too here, the fact that she's looking off to the right side over here, this is actually somewhat tempered by the fact that these lines, this doesn't take us all the way to the edge of the canvas, because these lines keep us contained. But this is a very strong example. This is a great example of employing this doing technique to really energize an image. Okay, good luck trying that. Don't forget to subscribe and share and all that kind of stuff. All the best.